started recording on its own. It must just want to record me. So, been thinking about this for a while, about doing a video diary, pretty much, a video journal. That way, a year from now, I can go back and look at where I was at. Thinking about even editing it and putting it together for YouTube. In case anybody wants to see my adventures starting up a WordPress startup, web design startup. I've been doing this for about 2 years now. So it's been a little slow going. It isn't the fairy tale story that you hear about a lot online. Really, I want to get better at talking to a camera. As I'm sure you can tell, I get a little nervous in front of the camera. And also in front of large groups of people. Which brings me to where I'm going right now. Where I'm going right now is a networking group. So I've been trying to get my services out there a lot more. Of course, I tried a little bit of cold emailing. At one point, that didn't work at all. I got some good back and forth from companies, but nobody that was really interested. But these networking groups that I've been going to, it's a lot for me to stand up in front of everybody and talk for 30 seconds, because I'm kind of a shy dude when it comes to large groups of people. I'm good with one-on-ones, which I wasn't even good at that at first, but you know, we keep growing and keep getting better. So I'm on my way to this networking group in it's North Richland Hills, but it's kind of like a Fort Worth, Texas area. It's a Northeast Tarrant County networking. It's going to be at the Olive Garden, so at least I get some good food out of it, you know. Which it's actually, I've been to a few different groups. I started, today? It's like January 21st, 22nd. I started the beginning of the year, like the very beginning of the first week of this year, going to networking groups. It was something that I wanted to make sure that I was doing this year to promote my brand a little bit more. And this is the best group that I've found so far. It's a lot of fun. The people are really supportive. Even me, when I get up there and I stutter and I feel like I'm gonna pretty much pass out talking in front of this large group of people, which has gotten better. Only 3 weeks in, it's already been getting a little bit better. At least I don't feel like I'm gonna pass out. That part is pretty much gone, but I still kind of trail off a little bit. This might be the perfect opportunity to throw my elevator pitch out there, get a little practice in. So, I'm Aaron Estes with Estes Web Development. I build websites for small businesses focused on creating conversions. So what a conversion is when somebody visits your website, that person takes your desired action, whether that be to go ahead and give you a call about your services, to fill out a contact form and, you know, generate a lead, or to buy your product directly off your website, depending on your business. Whatever conversion would be the strongest for you. Your website is your salesman that works 24 hours a day for you. If your website isn't optimized for conversions, you could be losing money. So give me a call, Aaron Estes with Estes Web Development. And that is what I try to get through, variations of that. The first day I said that over and over and over. It was a little different the first day, but I got there and I almost did it right then. Started just trailing off and getting quiet while I talk where you can't hear it, and that's, you know, that doesn't look good. But even with, I would say, weak at the moment, but getting stronger, my elevator pitch, I've actually already landed some good leads, which is good, instead of sitting around waiting for referrals. That's the main point of me doing this video journal, would be for me. But hopefully I can put it online, and anybody else going through the struggle, trying to teach yourself how to be a businessman, trying to teach yourself how to get customers, get clients, trying to teach yourself how to be a web designer, web developer, entrepreneur. Maybe can help out where I can, and I'll go through and share any information that I learn with you guys, which I'm constantly learning. I think that's really important. It's actually helped me out a lot on my one-on-one meetings. I'm constantly listening to podcasts, constantly consuming audiobooks, because my day job, don't quit your day job. My day job is where I make the least amount of money. My business that I started, doing web design, WordPress websites, I actually make more money at night working for my pops, building custom poker tables, which is cool. And I do DoorDash, which it sounds like you hear DoorDash, like, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, which I don't particularly want to do it, but it makes decent money. I can usually make at least $200 a day if it's a weekend, and still have time to come home at night and hang out with my family. But I'm pretty much working every day, all day right now. But that is the struggle. It is the struggle. You got to put in your work. You got to keep on learning, and that's what I'm going for. I don't have a mentality like I'm gonna try my best. I have mentality is I'm going to learn all this stuff. I'm going to continue to get better, and I'm going to start landing higher paying clients. I'm going to be able to take care of my family without working these other 2 jobs. I mean, I'm still also probably help my dad out anyways, but as far as DoorDashing, I definitely need to let that go. But that's it. I guess I'll give you guys another update after this networking meeting, and I'll talk about what happened. All right, so did the networking meeting. It was, I mean, I left happy, but I got to a point where everybody was talking, and I'm just kind of strolling around the room, try to get into a conversation. Everybody's just kind of in the middle of their talking and ignoring me. I was like, okay. And this was after, where everybody goes around and talks, and then there's like a presentation by one of the members of the networking group. So I'm wandering around. I can't get in any conversations. It's just like, maybe next time. I'll just head for the exit. I actually walked outside. I had to talk to this guy, John, up there about setting up another meeting. But I was like, I'll just, I even went over there to talk to John, and John was in the middle of talking to somebody, and the lady he was talking to was even like talking to him like this a little bit, like as though she didn't want me to hear what he was saying. So I was like, okay, I'm kind of intruding here. I'm just gonna leave. I'm walking outside, and I get outside, and I'm like, let's not give up. Let's try to get better at this. Let's try to figure it out. And I went back inside, and I try to pay attention to what other people were doing a little bit. I mean, if you're brand new at something, you have to at least figure out the lay of the land. You don't want to just copy everybody exactly, but I mean, you have to figure out, and you learn from people that are actually good at whatever it is you're trying to learn. So I'm looking around, and I see this guy just sitting there by himself, which whenever I'm by myself and not talking to anybody, I feel so awkward. Like everybody else is talking to somebody, and I'm just standing here kind of twiddling my thumbs like the odd kid out or whatever. But I see this guy sitting at a table by himself, just sitting there not doing anything, looking out over the room, leaned back in the chair, facing away from the table that he was sitting at, and just sitting there. And I was gonna go over there and talk to that guy. Obviously, that guy's free. And another guy walked up and started talking to him, like right when I was on my way over there. But then I was, well, that's a good idea. Instead of just standing in the middle of the room, looking very awkward, I'm gonna sit down and just be around people and just sit here for a second. And I had 2 people actually come up to me and talk to me, and I ended up talking to this prospective client that I wrote a proposal for and went over the proposal yesterday. I ended up talking to her again, and I'm gonna build her website, and she has some videographer recording the video. So I was able to get in and talk to both of them, and she kind of affirms, yeah, Aaron's gonna be building my website, so the video you make is gonna go on there. And the thing is, she doesn't have the money for the website right now, so she wants to start it in between 2 to 3 months. And between 2 to 3 months, even if it's like a week out, oh yeah, we'll get to this in a week. Of course, you're gonna still keep working for it, but that is, not solid ground, especially something 2 and 3 months out. Anything can change between that period. But to be back in there, have another conversation with her, stay in front of mind with her. She's thinking about me. She even said it again. All right, Aaron's gonna be building my website. So that's really good. That was one really good thing about the meeting. I ended up talking to the guy that runs the meeting for a little while. He came over and talked to me. And then I got up and I ended up talking to the CEO, which he's never there, but the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce. And he had a lot of good tips, and saying that my service was needed, that they have another web design guy, but he's grown a lot and he does really bigger business, and there's a price tag with his websites that go along with that, and asked me my base price. And right now I'm doing bare bones website for about $2,200, and he was like, yeah, that's a good price for where you're at. You could probably get a lot of business with that. And of course I went over with him. That's without taking into account any other sort of functionality that's going to be built into a site, booking or online sales or anything like that. Pretty much anything besides a brochure site is going to cost a little bit more. But he was like, oh yeah, that's really great, just keep coming, work on your elevator pitch. It's funny because we were just talking about that earlier. But he gave me some pointers on that, so that was really good. So that's the second good thing. The third good thing was, John got freed up and came over and talked to me and was like, all right, well, let's set up another meeting to talk about the website next week. So now I got another meeting set up with him, and that's locked in. And I was about to give up. I was about to walk out of there and pretty much leave with, nothing. No gain knowledge, no leads, nothing like that. But I turned around, I went back in, and I didn't give up, and pulled some good knowledge out of it, and worked on some leads a little bit more. I even had this other lady was like, hey, I need your card. I tried to talk to her a little bit after that, but she was busy. But she came up to me and asked me for my card, and I can tell the difference between people swapping cards just to swap cards, and people that are thinking about it, considering you for something now in my barely 3 weeks of doing it. But you catch on to cues and stuff like that. So it actually went really good, and I'm glad I went. I get really nervous whenever I show up for those things, and by the time I leave, I'm usually energized all over again. And that's why I knew something was wrong when I was just gonna leave, and without much interaction, I knew something was wrong. And I'm like, this isn't the feeling I should be having leaving this thing. Even though I'm very nervous, I want to get out of here. I just wanted to be over with. Wasn't going very well, but I went back in and ended up leaving with that good feeling. So that's awesome. It worked out. So don't ever give up. Always keep trying. I think that's probably one of my main strengths, is my persistency. I've been reading, I read the Toilet Paper Entrepreneur recently. I just finished that, and it talks about focusing on your strengths and really figuring out what your strengths are. And I heard people talking about that before, but I have never actually sat down and thought about what my strengths are. I actually sent messages to my friends because it seems kind of silly, sending messages to all your friends. So what do you think are my strengths? But whenever you end up getting them back, even though you might get a little, picked on a little bit by your friends coming at them with a question like that, you still get a bunch of valuable information. So that's number one on my reading list. I don't have any structure to this. It's just a video journal, but or a vlog, but that's number one on my reading list is Toilet Paper Entrepreneur, and it really helps coming from a spot where I'm at. I started not only with $0. I started with I don't have internet at home, so no internet. Trying to build an online business, trying to learn how to code, learn WordPress, learn how to connect with people, learn how to get business. And so I had to have a place that I could work from. There's not even a capability of internet where I live. It's kind of country. We've had people come by. Our neighbor has lived there forever. He's tried every service. There's no way to get internet. Hopefully Elon Musk fix that pretty soon. He's talking about having Starlink available in Texas at the end of this year, so that'll be good. But so right now I'm working out of a shared office space in Mansfield, which is like I live on the outskirts of Mansfield. And I started off my business with not only zero money, but also having to pay for this office every month out of money that I made elsewhere. So I was pretty much working all evening and all weekends to pay for this, well, on top of bills, but to also pay for this office so that I could go in and work all day, 9 to 5, pretty much, or maybe closer to 10 to 5 sometimes. To drop my kids off for school and everything. But starting from nothing, that Toilet Paper Entrepreneur is really inspirational and gives a lot of great pointers. Starting from nothing, being hungry, it's not about who's got the most money. It's about who is most passionate about what they do and who's going to keep going after it. A lot of people that start off with money, like lottery winners, they get all this money and then poof, it's gone. And sometimes they end up worse off than before they won the lottery. So just starting off with a lot of money isn't necessarily a blessing. Sure, it could help things out. It can. They say it takes money to make money. If you don't have money, it takes ingenuity and hard work to make money and to really optimize it. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 job anymore. I've done that before. I really want to do my own thing, and it has begun to grow. I should have started this vlog 2 years ago. Whenever I started out, it was so much struggles. I mean, I'm struggling now, and I'm gonna show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly about what I'm going through. I'm not the very best at everything, but I keep trying and I stay persistent. And it's not that I am trying to get a web design business off the ground. It's that I am getting a web design business off the ground. It's not that I'm going to try to be prosperous. I am going to be prosperous, and I know that. And I know from where I started, 6 months later, it's like I haven't really gained much steam. Another 6 months, haven't gained too much steam, but I had gained some, and it's taken time, and it's been gradual, but it's happening, and I can feel it. Going to these meetings and going to these networking meetings and having one-on-one meetings set up with clients and and having done, you know, some websites now that I'm proud of, and I just feel it all coming together, and take you guys through this journey with me.